on Mzansi, as we mentioned, records being set, and let's now focus on the English Premiership, and of course, records being set there as well. To help us break down what's been, well, a great season out in England once again, and a record-setting one is Shane McGregor. Shane, great to be in your company. Let's talk about Pep Guardiola, Manchester City. Now, for those that aren't in the know, the likes of Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, including Huddersfield, believe it or not, which is way back in the 20s, they've won 3 in a row. Manchester United have done it on 2 occasions. Everybody else that I've mentioned has done it once. But City have done something special this time around. They've won it 4 in a row. Pep Guardiola is, well, making hay in his time out in Manchester, is he not?
Brilliant. That's all I can say about him.
Yeah.
He's such a good manager. You know, he gets the best out of his players. He knows when to rest players. He knows when to bring players in. And what they've done, I mean, 4 in a row, unheard of. You know?
Yeah.
Even the great Sir Alex Ferguson could get it right. So it just shows you. Talking about that, there's been a lot of comparison between the two. Who's the better manager, coach? But, you know, that's a very difficult one. But, yeah, they've been outstanding. And, you know, you've got to take your hat off to Pep. He really has kept them together. He really has kept them going. And what a man. I mean, all the other managers are thinking, well, please, can he move on and give up? But it's not going to happen. He's still got another year left in his contract.
How often, now this is the big question, in recent memory, can City keep going to the last day and doing it on the last day? You remember quite famously, there was the win with Manchester United in the running for a top spot on the last day. City have done it once again in such a short span of time, different coaches between then and now, but one club keeps getting there and making history when they're being pushed right to the end with all that pressure. But
that's the way they do, you know, that's what they do. I mean, they are brilliant at doing that. When the pressure's on, they seem to actually play better than anyone else. And I'm not too sure what it is. You know, they get to that stage of the year, they get to December, and then all of a sudden they kick into a new gear. And they just seem to keep on winning, keep on winning, keep on going. And the bigger the pressure, the more games they win. Look, I couldn't get it right against Real Madrid, unfortunately, you know, but these things happen. But on the league front, it's going to take a very, very good team to break them down. Look at Arsenal. I mean, what a great year they had. They had so many points, they won so many games, and they still just couldn't get their leg over the line, you know. So that's the big thing. Man City know how to do it. Pep Guardiola knows how to manage the team, knows how to do it every year. Knowing how to manage a team also means knowing how to manage special players. You remember when Phil Foden was a youngster, still a teenager, many of the British media were saying, why is he not starting regularly? He's now on the other side of 20. De Bruyne gets a long-term injury. Foden steps forward, and what a player he's turning out to be. Exactly, and look how young he is and how many trophies he's won. You can't believe that, you know. That's one thing that you can't take away from him. And I can remember when he first started playing, they were saying they're looking at maybe loaning him out to get game time, match time experience. And Pep Guardiola said, no ways, guys. He's staying where he is. He's not going anywhere. He'll be a star in our side. And look what's happened. I mean, it's been proven right, you know. And what a player. But you're not just him. You know, they've got so many players. Doku's been a sensation in the last few months. Arguably the signing of the season, Even Grealish has been sitting out, you know. So if you just look at their whole squad, I mean, they're great. At the back, I still think that's where they could get caught out. But up front in midfield, I mean, we forget De Bruyne. We forget players like that. Haaland. Had a terrible season. Top goal scorer. Only scored 39 goals. Yeah, only. So, you know, bad season. Like Ray Keane says, doesn't even deserve to be playing in the first division. Exactly. He should be a second division player. Thank goodness he's not. He scored 300 goals. But no, Pepper's brilliant. And that's it. Simple over and done with. There's no one better than him, I think. You and I were speaking to an Arsenal fan just before we started recording today, and I said, look, for Arsenal fans, no reason to look down, no reason to even look for negatives. It's very much a positive season, this. Well, it's been 2 very positive seasons. This shows even they've grown since last year, and they've got to keep that going. You know, they've got to bring 1 or 2 players in. He's got to reinforce the squad so that they can get over the line. But nothing wrong with it. Yeah, they didn't win a trophy, but that doesn't matter. They're showing positive signs. They're showing the game the right way. It's just a matter of time before they win the league. I have to ask you about Chelsea and Pochettino. It seems there was advancement and forward movement there, but they part ways with him. Your thoughts on their season and the decision at the end of it all? Well, I'm dumbfounded with that decision, I must be honest, because in the beginning of the year, look, they brought in a lot of youngsters. Yeah, they spent a lot of money, but it was all on youngsters. So they had to have time to develop. they've, over the last few weeks of the season, been outstanding. They've been one of the surprise teams over the last few months.
Sure.
I can't believe now he's turned the corner and then all of a sudden they agree that it's time to move on. You're going to have to start all over again with a new manager. So I just don't understand that. I don't understand the logic behind it. I don't understand why it's going happening. There might probably, we'll find out sooner or later that there are things behind the scenes, like he wants to bring in new players. I'm not too sure, get rid of players. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's, I'm dumbfounded. I really am about why they got rid of it.
Quickly, lastly, Aston Villa finished 4th, United 8th. Your thoughts on both those teams and maybe swapping positions with United, of course, having the finish they had last season?
Well, Villa were outstanding in the ship because of the manager, so brilliant. And obviously, Man United have been disappointing.
Wow.
Look, they got a cup final on the weekend, but they've been more than disappointing. I just feel it's the players. I don't think it's the manager. I think he's a good manager, but if he's going to have enough time, I'm not too sure. They need to have a re-look at that squad, get rid of players. They're getting rid of some now, but they need to bring in a lot of players.
Well, there you go. What a season out in England, and we have to take our hats off and, of course, salute Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, and all his stars for what they've done in entertaining us this season. Not forgetting, of course, the likes of Arsenal for pushing them all the way, Liverpool as well, with the announcement of the new coach. We wish them luck in the future and in the next season. That's it with us and Shane, and break down what has been a memorable and historic season in the way of English football. We'll be back with Shane next week. On the other side of this is Jerry Skosana, as we talk about history being made in the local game and the battle for second place, and also the battle for those looking to avoid the playoff or the relegation promotion playoffs at the end of the campaign.